The topic of discussion for this video is a question which I am often asked, and the question is, I am registering a company in Singapore. After that, am I guaranteed to get employment pass or EntrePass to work for that company in Singapore? If such a pass is not guaranteed, or if I do not get employment pass, how do you expect me to run this company? So generally the expectation is that along with the company, one employment pass or entry pass should come by default. Quite often I get this question also from people who have some business connections in Dubai or United Arab Emirates. In UAE, it seems that company can apply for a specific quota of work permits, and that work permit numbers is tied to the office space that the company is renting. So for one work permit, you have to apply for 12.5 square meter of office space. So if you want to have 10 permits, work permits, then in that circumstances, you will have to rent at least 125 square meter of place. However, what you need to understand is UAE and Singapore are quite different in terms of their profile, demographics, and economy. UAE population last year is around 9 million in total. However, out of that 8 million people are foreigners and the number of citizens is only 1 million or even less than that. Obviously, they will be providing this kind of work visas and the work visas will be generous in Dubai. The first thing to understand, incorporation and employment pass are two different things. There is a limited connection in them. But first, incorporation is overseen by ECRA, Accounting and Corporate Regulatory Authority of Singapore. So this authority manages business registrations and cessations. Whereas employment pass processes are overseen by Ministry of Manpower. And this is the ministry which is overall in charge for manpower policies and practices. So as such, both these organizations do not have any direct connection, though obviously I agree that in many incorporation cases, people will be looking for employment passes. So let's have a look at some of the statistics of foreigner promoted companies in Singapore. So here I am referring to those companies where 100% shareholding was by foreigners. So large percentage of these companies will work remotely and they will continue working remotely for first few years of their operations. These companies will not have any employees, they may not even have local employees. They will only have some registered address and the promoters might visit Singapore occasionally on business visa for business meetings. In many of these cases, the Singapore entity runs as an auxiliary entity for the main business entity of the promoter in his home country. More than 70% of these companies will never apply for an employment pass. They will either continue working remotely or if required, they will employ somebody local from Singapore. Only about 20% of the companies will apply for at least one employment pass and a very small percentage of these companies will apply for multiple EPs. So as you can see, a need for employment pass is not widespread in these foreigners promoted Singapore entities. So the main point that I want to highlight here, that while employment pass or entry pass is not guaranteed just because you incorporate a company, it is also not outright denied. In case your company or your business idea has the merit, then definitely it will be approved. So here I am showing one slide which is from my another presentation, which is on what factors influence the employment pass approval. So I will briefly explain it here. As you can see, if your company has a good background and a reasonable capital, if the candidate that you are going to employ has a good and strong work background, so in this case it's going to be the promoter itself based on the question. If the sector in which this company works is the sector in demand in Singapore and the salary offered to the candidate is commensurate with his experience and it is high, then in that circumstances I don't see a reason why your employment pass will get rejected. However, keep it in mind, if the idea is to use incorporation as an easy way to relocate to Singapore, then that's not going to be possible. If you or your company does not have necessary background or the experience, or you are not into the in demand area, and if the idea is only to get employment pass as an easy way, then I don't think that it's going to happen. So, in summary, getting employment pass for a genuine and promising business in Singapore is usually not a problem.
Thank you for watching this video. This video was brought to you by Epica Consulting Singapore. Subscribe to our channel today to get notified when new videos are posted.